Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show will begin in 10 minutes.
Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Come on down tonight. Come on. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Everything gonna be all right. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Come on down today. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. It's a great place to stay.
Welcome to the Cave Crew Radio pre-show. We are about to go live on cavecrewradio.com, YouTube and Facebook. Please share the show and remember to like, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss a thing. And please leave us your comments too. Get ready. It's going to be another big show with all the latest hot topics, pop culture and weird news. Ladies and gentlemen, and I use that term loosely, here are your hosts, DK and the Big B.
Hi. Are you there?
I'm here.
Throughout all my life and with all my heart, I shall strive to be worthy of your trust.
Her Royal Highness, Princess Elizabeth.
In wishing you all good evening, I feel that I am speaking to friends and companions who have shared with my sister and myself many a happy children's hour.
The royal visitors stepped off into the hot sunshine of Nairobi. No one knew then that the girl who had arrived here as Princess Elizabeth would leave again 5 days later as Queen.
The tragic news reached Princess Elizabeth and her husband while in Kenya, and the new Queen left immediately for London.
Sir Winston took an important part in the ceremonies attending the coronation, and has probably been nearer to the sovereign than any Prime Minister for many years.
I want to tell you all how happy I am to be amongst you and how much I look forward to my journey through Australia.
Such outbursts of spontaneous affection. Snaps a happy picture of this fairy queen, who has, it seems, come magically amongst us.
The Queen starts her 5-day tour of the United States in Jamestown, Virginia, which is celebrating the 350th anniversary of America's first English settlement. To a vast gathering, Her Majesty points out,
350 years ago, the great American nation was born at this historic place. I cannot think of a more appropriate point for us to start our visit to the United States.
1992 is not a year on which I shall look back with undiluted pleasure. In the words of one of my more sympathetic correspondents, it has turned out to be an annus horribilis.
Since last Sunday's dreadful news, we have seen throughout Britain and around the world an overwhelming expression of sadness at Diana's death. We have all been trying in our different ways to cope. It is not easy to express a sense of loss, since the initial shock is often succeeded by a mixture of other feelings: disbelief, incomprehension, anger, and concern for those who remain.
We should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again.
He is someone who doesn't take easily to compliments. But he has quite simply been my strength and stay all these years. And I and his whole family, and this and many other countries, owe him a debt greater than he would ever claim, all we shall ever know.
Happy Jubilee, man. And thank you for everything.
That's very kind.
Yes, Big B, the Queen of England has passed. And we will surely address some things on the show when we go live.
Shocking news, by the way.
Shocking news. I don't know if we should congratulate Jason Scott, but he picked her in the poll. I think he's been picking her for 4 years.
I would not congratulate Jason Scott because he takes the easy way out. He finds everybody that's near or at 100 years old and picks them in the pool.
Right. And where we pick outside chances and things of that nature.
Right.
Well,
but it was shut like I didn't even realize it until somebody posted it in the chat that we have ongoing about the Queen's health, because you didn't hear anything up until then. And suddenly her health took a turn, and within hours she was gone. So it was very, very shocking.
Yeah, all I read was she's under care, which we've heard before, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, bang, she's gone, which is weird. I mean, before we get crazy and funny and all the things we normally do, she was a strong woman when women weren't strong, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Right. She was a world leader before, certainly before the rise of women's rights here in the U.S. and when women took prominent positions in all aspects of life. She was one of the very few. And I was thinking about it. It's weird because all my life there's been a Queen of England, and she's been it. Now suddenly there's not a Queen of England anymore. It's kind of weird.
And I can't wait. I was reading this other article in a Toronto newspaper, and what's her brother there, Philip, or her oldest son, whatever he is.
Yeah, Philip. Didn't he die or something like that?
Yeah, she kind of sheltered him, and then there's Harry. She kind of sheltered him, and it's going to be exciting in a way to see what the new king brings forward.
What good old Charles is going to do?
Yeah, it'll be interesting at the least. But now we have a king, and there's been talk in Canada that the Queen is on the $20 bill. The Queen is on coins. What's going to happen now? My province that I live in, which is like a state for you, the head of office is called Queen's Park. And though we rule ourselves as a country, we are still part of the Commonwealth.
So are you going to take this opportunity, not you personally, but is Canada now going to take this opportunity to do what we did back 300 years ago and become independent? Say, screw England, we're on our own.
I'm not sure what's going to happen. It's a watch and see. I personally thought it would have been a better choice for Charles to pass at 72 years old and give it to William, and we would have this young king with a beautiful wife, and but it didn't happen, right? So
come on, that would have never have happened. He's been waiting for this day since he married Diana.
Oh yeah.
He figured, I'm going to marry Diana. We're going to be king and queen within 10 years because Elizabeth's going to, pass away. She's old. It's going to be 10 years. She lived forever. So he's been waiting for this I don't care if he dies tomorrow, he's going to die happy because he became king.
Well, and Stu told us that, right? So he says he's never seen Charles so happy. Anyway, big shout out to Mike Jolitz. You're coming up. in just a little while on the show. We're going to hit the radio button and get the show started. We got a great show, including our own kind of warped tribute to the UK and the future of Urine Stench Alley. And, of course, weird news, Florida news, Mike Jolitz, like we said. So stand by, ladies and gentlemen. And Big B's Epicenter, it's all coming. Stand by.
Air traffic control, bring in New York. Roger that. Bring in Canada. 10-4. Gentlemen, we have liftoff.
The show is about to start. We have liftoff. In 3, 2, 1. Warning, Will Robinson. This program contains bad words. Use caution. If easily offended, enter at your own risk. This is radio. Radio.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men. Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of the
I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Today's broadcast of the Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gotta go to a place where I get a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Clayman, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball. It's a power goal.
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. This is Cave Crew Radio. My name is DK, and it's great to be here with you tonight. We are live on cavecrewradio.com. We are live on YouTube. We are also live on Facebook, wherever great podcasts can be found. And Power FM in LA. I'm sorry, I forgot about them. And our newest affiliate, really pleased to be on it, is the Stand Up Comics Podcast Network. We are now live and available there. And hopefully some people will listen and they'll find us funny. That's what we're hoping, ladies and gentlemen. We got a great show ahead for you. Obviously, if you heard on the pre-show, the Queen has passed. There is some big implications here in the cave. Not only is a great friend of the show since 2015, Choo Choo Stew, an honorary member, but also the section that we know as Urine Stench. So we'll get to that briefly. We got a few things to break down. We got some weird news. We got some Florida news. And, of course, we got the one and only Mike Jolitz. He is our rock. He saves us each and every week from total disaster. But before we move any forward, ladies and gentlemen,
And now, he is the Duke of Urine Stench, as knighted by the Queen, the self-proclaimed President of the United States, a university graduate, and always the epicenter of something. Sir Big B.
Yes, live from Queens, New York, I am Sir Big B, your President-elect of the United States of America, and as always, the epicenter of something. This week, I'm the epicenter of all things having a root canal.
Oh, I can't wait. I mean, I don't wish pain on you in any way. I saw you eating chicken soup.
Yes.
On the pre-show.
Yes.
But I do believe there's always a great story behind tribulation.
So this has been going on for like a year, by the way. So initially, like last year, I was one day just eating dinner, and it wasn't anything hard that I was chewing on. I guess, bit down on the wrong side, and pain shot through my head. And every so often it would happen. So I went to the dentist, took x-rays, didn't see anything. He said, maybe there's a crack, but I can't see it. Go home and use Sensodyne. I said, okay.
So wait a minute. Pain shot through your head.
Mm-hmm.
We need to add drama to this epicenter.
So as time went on, I went home and was using my Sensodyne, but it wasn't helping. So again, I would chew, I guess, the wrong way at some point, and pain would shoot through my head. Went back to the dentist. He said, he took x-rays again. He said, I don't see anything at this point. And my tooth was very sensitive too. Like if you put air on it or cold or anything, it would hurt a lot. So go get a root canal, he says, and gives me the referral. So of course, I don't want to go get a root canal. So I wait. I waited an additional 6 months at least, until it got to the point where last week on the show, if you watch the show, that's when it really started. You'll see me do this at some point. I remember doing it because the drink my wife gave me went to that side and it was cold, and the cold hit my tooth and hurt. So like I was grabbing my mouth.
Like I don't want to take away, because we will announce who won your contest.
Mm-hmm.
You were totally out of sorts with your I don't know the answer to that. And it was just, I'm watching, and I didn't know about the root canal problem at the time, but I'm sitting back in my chair going, this is not Big B.
Like, well, I didn't want to use any excuses going in, so I didn't say anything before the show. I didn't say anything after the show. I didn't want to use any excuses going in. It is what it is, and we'll talk about it later. But so if you go back and watch, you'll see me do this at some point during the show, and that's pain is shooting through my tooth and my head and my jaw and my ear. As the weekend went on, it got worse and worse and worse, to the point where I didn't sleep Saturday night into Sunday. From Saturday to Sunday, I didn't sleep at all. I couldn't sleep. I was up all night long, couldn't sleep. I was in pain. Left a message for the dentist. Obviously, they're off, and it's Labor Day weekend, so they were off on Monday too. So I'm sitting there in massive pain. Dentist finally gets back to me on Tuesday and says, oh, you can come tomorrow. I was hoping for same day appointment. They're like, you can come tomorrow, which is Wednesday. Wednesday, I went to the dentist, and through the examination and through many times of him touching my tooth and me wanting to punch him in the nose, he said he hasn't seen a tooth that sensitive in 5 years. Drilled into my tooth, said, you definitely need a root canal. I don't know what he did. I was all numb. It took 3 different shots to get me numb over there. So got this whole side of my face was numb. My lip was numb, drooling down and all of this, and does the root canal. I have my Oragel here.
Excellent. Great to have Oragel.
Always great to have Oragel. Yeah. He did the root canal, filled it in. Now that's one of 2, possibly 3 times I have to go. So I have another appointment scheduled on for Monday. But after the root canal, 2 hours after the root canal was completed, I was at UBS Arena, which is where the New York Islanders play, watching the Scorpions.
I saw that. You're all, and it amazed me. I'm like, holy shit. Big B, like I've gone through this. The wife's gone through it. The kid's had his wisdom teeth out. Yada yada. I'm like, he is at a heavy metal Scorpions concert, which I love the Scorpions, by the way.
Yeah, it was. And before all this happened, I had upgraded our tickets, so we got access to the VIP Verizon Lounge where you get free food and drinks and all this stuff. So I'm sitting in the Verizon Lounge now. All the Novocaine is starting to wear off. Just as the time, we're getting ready to head to the seats to watch the Scorpions, all of this is wearing off, and pain is just starting to ache through my jaw. So I go to one of the attendants in the lounge, and I was like, "Is there anywhere here I can get Tylenol?" The lady says, "Go out and ask security. They might be able to help you." So I go out and I find a security guy, and I was like, I told him, I said, I literally just had root canal right before I came here. Everything's wearing off. I'm in a lot of pain. Is there anywhere here, like a medical tent, anything that I can go find Tylenol? He's like,
you did not have Oragel.
I didn't have it with me because they search you when you go through these things. So I took everything out of my pockets before I left for the arena, and that was in my pocket. I just took everything out and not even thinking. It was just took everything out, threw it on the table, and left. So security guy said, "Yeah, come with me. I'll take you." So he takes me up one floor. We go into this massive room. It's like this huge medical room at UBS Arena. And one of the EMTs comes up and is like, I said, "Yeah, I just need Tylenol." And they point to this table that has boxes of pills on it. Like, generic Tylenol, ibuprofen, allergy pills, whatever it is. It's just a giant table full of pills.
They're ready for everything. Was there EpiPens?
I'm assuming they're not available for me to grab, but yes, I'm assuming they had EpiPens. And the weird part was, I was like, "Yeah, I just need Tylenol because, I told him again, I had root canal." It's like, "Well, I can't give it to you, but you can take them." I was like, I looked at him kind of weird. I was like, "Why can't you just give them to me?"
So this was like the Halloween trick or treat.
Right. I went trick or treating. In the medical tent at UBS Arena for painkillers.
So wait a minute. So the next time, ladies and gentlemen, you attend a concert, you do not need to smuggle wacko tobacco, nor spend all your money on booze. Just head to the local medical tent, and you will be on a psychedelic trip of a lifetime.
You could grab whatever I asked, like, I didn't know if there's like a limit or whatever, because she said you could take it. So I was like, they had the fake Tylenol and the ibuprofen. So I wanted one of each. I was like, "Do you mind if I grab two, like one of each?" They're like, "Yeah, take whatever you want." I was like, "Really?" I could have literally filled my pockets full of these things.
This is fantastic. I never knew this about concerts. Is this the same at sporting events?
Oh, I don't know. This is the first time I've ever had to do this.
Will this be a regular stop when you go to a concert?
At the medical tent?
I'd like some Demerol, please. Def Leppard is not performing as I wish they would.
I could give it a try. I don't know how far the freebies will go, but I can give it a try. But I was thoroughly surprised.
So it was like a Bob Evans buffet or something.
That's exactly what it was. It was a table with, those, when you go into like the bodegas or the delis, they have those boxes of little, like Advil packets and Tylenol packets. That's all it was. But they were all generic brands. So it was all those boxes with the top ripped off, and you could just take packets out.
Excuse me, sir. Can you please escort me to the medical tent?
And that was security brought me to, like, they could have told me, like, I was on the bottom floor in the Verizon Lounge, and it was only one floor up. Like, you take the elevator one floor, and it's right as soon as you get out of the elevator, it's on the left. All he had to do was say, "Go in the elevator, go to one, and go to your left. It's right there." And it's a big room, like you can't.
You were escorted.
They were like, "Come with me, I'll take you."
This is like the Goodfellas movie or something. So here you are. You're riding up the elevator. You're probably you're in pain. So you left Mrs. B down in the mosh pit.
No, we were in the lounge. We were in the Verizon lounge. I was with Mrs. B and my older son.
Okay. And so she had someone with her.
Right.
And this is crazy.
And they escorted me up to the medical tent, and then he didn't even leave. Like I went into the medical place, got my stuff, and he escorted me back down to the lounge.
So, well, that's what a VIP ticket will get you, I guess, right? Like that. If you would have been like a general admission, they would have kicked you in the cooter and thrown you out the door.
Right. Who would have known? Who would have known when I upgraded? Who would have known when I upgraded my VIP ticket? I would have come in handy because I had root canal.
Right. It came with Obamacare.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was sitting there, and thankfully I took the ibuprofen, and it helped. So I'm sitting there watching the Scorpions, kind of in pain-ish, and watching the show.
And you got to see "Rock You Like a Hurricane."
That's what they closed with. "Rock You Like a Hurricane."
Was that the closure? Because I got to tell you, our wedding song that Isby and I picked was. I don't know the name of it, but it's like, "Here I am, won't you show me an angel?"
Oh, "Send Me an Angel." Yeah, they played that song too.
That was called, yeah.
Yeah, they played that song. That was like in the middle of the set. They said that they played "Send Me an Angel."
Yeah, that was our dance.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
So yeah, I know the Scorpions well. I remember seeing them in Michigan when I was a kid, and like they all came out in cages. Must have been when Zoo came out. Did they
the Zoo? Oh, that was like the second or third song they played, the Zoo. But yeah, it was and there was big questions whether or not we were going to that concert, because I was in so much pain. And I'm stuffing Tylenols down my throat before I went to the root canal. Like I felt like shit. I'm in tremendous amounts of pain. I told my wife, I said, the last thing on my mind right now is the fucking Scorpions concert. I'm in too much pain. I haven't slept in 2 days.
Funny about a tooth story. I remember this one time, like Isby works for a lawyer, and we were going to this big formal charity event. Like I'm talking suit and tie, which I don't even wear in my day job. And I had, mine was an abscess, so something similar, very, very, very painful.
Yep.
And so what I was doing is I was drinking shots of whiskey and like swilling it to numb it, to get through the dinner.
Yeah.
Well, I was fucking hammered. I was having double vision, halfway through the party or whatever it was.
But did it numb the tooth?
It numbed the tooth. That's why I was going to ask you earlier. Did you consider whiskey? Just don't swallow it.
I couldn't do anything on that side. It was so sensitive. Like any type of liquid, air, you touch it, anything goes on, would hit that tooth, I would go through the roof. I couldn't do anything.
And I've experienced that. But I remember when I was a kid, like you're talking about the dentist office being close. When I was a kid, and I'm not as old as people think I am, but like I don't know if oral gel was around, but I remember my dad poured me a shot of whiskey. I didn't swallow it, but like put it in, swill it around, and the numbing effect of the whiskey really worked.
Yeah, unfortunately, nothing could touch that tooth. It was so bad that even when he was giving me the shots of Novocaine, like he's being very careful not to touch the tooth, the second round of Novocaine, like he must have brushed the top of it like very slightly, and I flipped the fuck out. And he's like, "What? I didn't touch your tooth." I said, "Oh yes, you did." And he's like, where does it hurt?" And I pointed like right in the middle of the tooth. He's like, "Damn."
See, I'd be like, pull the fucking thing out.
Well, no. So he tells me. So this is a specialist. This is an endodontist.
An endodontist. Excuse me.
So if you ever need a tooth root canal, you go to an endodontist, apparently. So he's going through this with me. He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to drill in, and if I see a crack or so, if it's to the point where we can't save the tooth, you're going to have to get it pulled." I said, "If you have to pull the tooth, please do. Go right ahead. I just want to get rid of the pain." He said,
I'm good.
He says, Oh no, I don't do that. I just do root canals.
Oh shit! You gotta be referred.
Right. If you need your tooth pulled, you have to go somewhere else. So I started at my original dentist. He doesn't do root canals. He sent me to the root canal guy. Now, if my tooth needed to be pulled, the root canal guy would have to send me to a tooth puller guy.
Okay, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Excuse me. I'm the root canal guy. I do not specialize in anything else. I do not have the tools. I don't have a pair of pliers. You're already under fucking Novocaine.
Right. He's got drills. He's got, I'm fully numbed up here. I can't feel a goddamn thing. Pull the fucking thing if you have to. But no, he can't. He doesn't do that. Luckily,
I'm not licensed under the state of New York. I'm not qualified for this surgery.
Right. I don't know how this works, but luckily when he drilled in, he said, he got out a bunch, I'm on antibiotics because there was an infection going on. There's a bunch of shit going on inside my tooth. So he said, it went well. So he doesn't see any fractures or anything. So he thinks the tooth can be saved, which is good. So I don't have to go to yet another person to get a tooth pulled.
That's fucking bizarre. In all my life, I've had one dentist. He cleans, he x-rays, he does the root canals, he removed my wisdom teeth, yada, yada, yada. That is strange.
Yep. And now when it's all said and done, so I have to go back on Monday for another appointment to do round 2 of the root canal. And if they don't finish then I got to go to round 3. Then when all that is said and done, I have to go back to my regular dentist to get a crown put on that tooth.
And get clearance that the root canal has been cleared.
Yeah, it's a whole process now that I'm involved in. But I don't feel any pain anymore, except like in my jaw, which he told me was going to happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the root canal saga. All right, great story. Great information. I never knew there was an endodontist.
I'm calling around, like when he's not getting back to me, I'm calling around other dentists and all of them. Oh, we don't do that. We're just general dentists. Does anybody do root canals here?
So there is a shortage of endodontists out there.
Apparently.
So, like, and what is this endodont? Like, does he have a good rating on Google?
Oh yeah, everybody likes him. Like, I looked at his
5-star then.
Yeah, I looked at his ratings and his reviews. Everybody likes him, and he was good. I mean, he's good. His staff is good. Very nice, and he explained everything. But it was like
I've looked at ratings just about everywhere I've gone, but I don't think I've looked on Google ratings for dentists. That's gonna change.
Don't look for dentists. Look for endodontists.
Endodontists. I gotta see if we have those in Canada. I don't know. All right, listen, before we get into the Queen ship, we do got a really quick, we'll just talk about last week. And you were kind of getting into it a little bit. And we got to congratulate Choo Choo Stu one way or the other. He endured a very weird tournament and ended up being the champion of the Believe It or What contest. But I knew there was something weird. I expected Isbia to give up and just fuck it. And other people along the way, I'd watch them and they're like, I can't do this anymore. I'm just going to throw this question. I believe Jason Scott might have done it in the semifinal round. But I never expected that out of you because I watched you battle through so many of the Believe It or What contests, and I didn't say a lot about it. I think I might have mentioned it, but I'm like, I gave you a hockey question. Like,
I was
you would have really thought about that. You would have weighed out the timeline and the possibilities and shit like that, and you took it to overtime, which is very commending. But I just saw you lose in your fight, and I felt like I was in like the Brian song of Believe It or What.
Yeah, it was, and again, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't, it was a fair match and there was nothing. Stu is the champion. I'm not taking anything away from
Stu. He did a great job.
Yeah, and I don't want to say anything, but I was in a lot of pain, and because I know I would sit there and go, well, it's either this or this, and I could do this, and I talk my way through it, and that's how I come to my answers. And I was just in too much pain to do it, and that's why afterwards, if you remember, after the tournament, everything hit a lull and you had to carry everything because I couldn't think of anything.
I told some story about Thanksgiving. It was completely weird.
Right. But it was
yeah,
like I couldn't think of it. There was pain just
Stu was
shooting.
out of it. I mean, he's probably, it's 4 a.m. there, and he's been up all night.
Right. And I had pain shooting in my jaw, my ear, and my head. I couldn't. So thank God you just made up this fucking weird ass story about Thanksgiving, and I kind of threw in a couple of comments.
Questions though. I think you and I should win. What do they call those things? An Emmy for that.
It was off the cuff, unplanned, and it worked.
It was weird for me too, though, because I'm looking, and normally I'm like, okay, guys, we're done. I got to get to bed. I got to get something to eat, and I got to pee.
Right.
And I'm looking at the clock, and I'm going, fuck, we got a lot of time here. Stu is not drinking. He's very boring, and you were out of it. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna try. Oh, what the hell do we have here, ladies and gentlemen? Hang on. We're going to go to the Big B cam. That looks fit. I hope there's not a lot of sugar in that, though. You're gonna end up in. Now, is the bottle? Oh no, it's not. Okay. Answer my question. I thought the bottle was white.
No, this is what's called a creamsicle.
Yeah, it looks very foamy.
It's got what is it? Liquor 43, orange juice, and heavy cream.
Okay.
And that's it. There's no vodka or nothing there. No, that's it. And this is a creamsicle. So it's a nice like the ice cream. The ice cream creamsicle. That's what this tastes like.
We used to have when we were kids. So mixing that with your generic Tylenol, it's going to be great.
That's all right.
But anyway, I just to show you that I observe these things as well. Yeah, I could tell you were off. And again, Stu, I know you're probably listening on podcast download because you're sleeping right now. Not taken away from you. What you accomplished was amazing, even to get there, and you still might have won. I was just expecting another level of analytics, I guess is what I'm saying.
No, I take nothing away from Stu. Stu won fair and square. There's no excuses. He won. He beat me fair and square.
But what it did set up is what's going to be a lot of fun, probably sometime in October or November, is Choo Choo Mania 3.
Yes,
versus Choo Choo Stu. And with your help, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to come up with some great events. Did she just refill? Because the foam wasn't that high a second ago.
No, it's...
Looks like she topped you up.
No.
Now, where did she just left those bottles from? Like that's
This bottle is actually I can turn it around. This is my honey mustard sauce bottle.
Oh, okay. Hopefully been washed out.
Yeah, no, I ordered these bottles from Amazon. So when I make sauces, and if I give them out to like a Christmas kind of a Christmas gift type thing, I get the bottles from Amazon and pour it in there. So that's what that is.
All right, let's keep moving here. I think we're going to end up skipping stories tonight, but that's okay. The Queen of England passed away, and there are several implications that will come in place. One little tribute I'm going to do, and you kind of enjoy your drink, is a video that was made, and I'm going to have to reload this thing, aren't I? Yeah, I'm going to have to reload it again. That's okay.
It's all right.
So the Queen of England has passed away, the longest reigning monarch. So anyway, during the Jubilee, Choo Choo Stu, I'm just trying to get this back up again. And you and I are going to have to mute for it to work properly.
Yep.
So during the Jubilee, Choo Choo Stu and some friends made this YouTube video, and we want to share this in kind of our tribute to the Queen. So I'm going to mute myself, and I'll ask you to do the same until the video ends.
Yep.
And why I'm doing this, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is when I'm not muted. I cause an echo in the system. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Our tribute to the Queen with England's own Choo Choo Stew.
They'll be stuck to the railings and cheering out loud. Britain's on top and it makes you feel proud. A jubilee song for a queen that stands fast. 3 cheers for the queen as a carriage goes past. 60 years she's been reigning the great British Isles. The roar of the lions can hear them for miles. The pomp and the glory, the whole world looks on. All raise your glass and join in with our song. So put up your bunting and wave your flags high. To right royal knees up, we'll party all night. Red, white and blue are the colours we fly. 3 cheers for the Queen as a carriage goes by. How does she do it? She goes on and on. I'll be drawing my pension, still singing this song. Will he be 80 by the time he gets crowned? We're thinking by then we'll be under the ground. I've told Prince Philip to be seen and not heard. I've already warned him, don't say a word. Just smile and wave, keep the crowd keen. It's me that they've come for the Queen. So put up your bunting and wave your flags high. To right royal knees up, we'll party all night. Red, white and blue are the colours we fly. 3 cheers for the Queen as the carriage goes by. From Australia, New Zealand to Canada they fly. The Union Jack flag, we wave it up high. Celebrations happening, all for our Queen. So wave your flags high and let it be seen. Nothing will stop her, God bless the Queen. She's still getting out there and likes to be seen. In pomp and in glory, we stand fast as one. All join in, sing along with our song. So put up your bunting and wave your flags high. So right royal knees up, we'll party all night. Red, white and blue are the colours we fly. 3 cheers for the Queen as the carriage goes by. So put up your bunting and wave your flags high. So right royal knees up, we'll party all night. Red, white and blue are the colours we fly. 3 cheers for the Queen as the carriage goes by.
All right, we'll see if there's a echo when we review the video.
I did not hear one.
That's awesome. That means things are going to work. All right. Our very own Choo Choo Stew. That was recorded, Big B, believe it or not. Excuse me. Before the show was even started in 2012.
Wow. Okay.
I believe we met Stu sometime circa 2016 or 2015.
Something like that. Yeah, because we started 2015, and soon after we started, we found we met up with Stu.
And what a great song! And that's our tribute. Now, I don't have any graphics for this or anything else, but those who have been listening a long time will know we quite often go to the highest court of urine stench. But there was a point when Big B, he was only known as Big B, not as Sir Big B. The Queen arrived right here on Cape Crew Radio. I apologize, I don't have the clip. Maybe I can find it for next week. Knighted and declared you Sir Big B, the Duke of Urine Stench Alley, which is, of course, is a legendary place in England. I don't know if it's even rated on TripAdvisor yet, or any of those places, but famous place that both you and I want to go to, where Stu told us about, where an alley with the stink of urine, and you were knighted as the Duke and the ruler over said county.
Yes. So initially, I was less than enthusiastic about the royal family. Let's say that I would come on this show and spew hatred almost towards them. But all things changed once the Queen knighted me. We discussed things. We hashed everything out. The Queen was so taken back by my turnaround. She knighted me. I became Duke of Stench Alley, and we had wonderful relations as we expanded and grew into what is now known as Stenchlandia.
Right, that missing island off the coast of New Zealand, which, again, we can't bring you back, folks. We don't have the graphics, but the gypsies, the wanderers, Big B was a home for the lost.
That's right. And we went from the Stench Alley, and we expanded, and I welcomed all of the wanderers and those lost ones, and we created Stenchlandia as part of the United Kingdom, as a very small part that's not spoken about, but we were still a part of the United Kingdom in treaty with the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth.
Right.
And all was well. And of course, we were devastated in Stenchlandia to find out the Queen's passing the other day.
Absolutely. And that's why we're celebrating it on the pre-show and here tonight. And, you know, I again, like you, was skeptical. What are they doing for me? What is the monarchy? But once they noticed you and saw that you were the Gandhi of Stench, reaching out to the lost, I too was attracted to the one without a last name.
Right. And so we sent an emissary out to London to obviously send our thoughts and prayers to the family. We wanted also to congratulate now King Charles.
Yes, the third.
King Charles III on becoming king. But what has happened is that Charles has not acknowledged our emissary. Charles has not acknowledged any of our outreach. Charles has not reached back out to us at all. So we have taken that as almost an insult because of the great relationship.
Right now, we're feeling like Harry.
I think we're feeling worse than Harry.
Okay.
Because of the wonderful, great relationship we had with the Queen has gone completely done a 180 with Charles.
Kaputs, ladies and gentlemen. It's got kaputs.
So what has happened is we had an emergency meeting, an emergency parliamentary meeting in Stenchlandia. And we are going to officially declare our sovereignty from England.
We're going to need our own flag.
Yes, we will need to create our own. This happened just merely hours ago. We need to create our own flag. I am now the king of Stenchlandia. And there's going to be a new position, as I want to go back to the Middle Ages and have protection. So I want to officially announce the open position, and we will have interviews and sign-ups for a position known as a berserker.
A berserker? This is like Dungeons and Dragons.
We are going to have a berserker in Stenchlandia. Now, for those of you who don't know what a berserker is, in medieval times, a berserker was basically a hitman. He would be the guy you would.
This is bigger than Sir Lancelot. This is bigger than Arthur pulling the sword. This is bigger than Robin Hood putting the arrows in his quill, whatever it might be.
I feel the now kingdom of Stenchlandia needs a berserker to thwart any potential aggressions by London. because we don't know what Charles is going to do. I feel I personally need protection as being the king of Stenchlandia. So we will now have an open position for those who want to sign up, apply for, and try out for the position of berserker.
And now we're also, it's going to take us a few weeks, but we got to redo your little thing there. You must be the first person ever to be president-elect of the United States and King of England. We must get or Stenchlandia, I mean. We must get a T-shirt made for this, as you are declaring. So we all know Stenchlandia, you will be safe off the coast of New Zealand in our underwater self-proclaimed continent. But I'm wondering if there will be some point of a revolt in central London, because the home base where all things started, kind of like the Mecca where we all go to once a year to pay our respects of Stench Alley, could be in serious trouble.
Again, this is another reason why we need the position of a berserker. The berserker will get a staff behind him of enforcers, and we will distribute those through Stench Alley as well as Stenchlandia.
This is absolutely breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, here on Cave Crew Radio. That the Commonwealth of Stench is separated before Canada, before Australia, before Kenya, before Scotland, before Ireland. Stench is the first to proclaim sovereignty under King Charles III.
The disrespect that has been shown to us is unacceptable, and we will show the world that Stenchlandia is its own empire.
Now, will you go in like the Emperor in Star Wars with a cloak over your head and subjectively pay respects to the Queen without anyone noticing who you are now that you've basically declared war on the royal family?
Well, and because of that, I cannot reveal my future plans at this moment in time.
Will you send a messenger, Paul Revere, someone carrying a message, a suicide bomber? I'm not that they're going to bomb, but like an undercover messenger, Scarlet, a Tokyo Rose, a Mata Hari.
Well, let's just say that at the grand funeral for the beloved Queen of England, there will be a presence of Stenchlandia. You will know it when you see it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So you're all going to want to glue yourself to the TV. What you thought would be a boring 8-hour funeral, you will now need to find Waldo in the mix. All right, so very interesting, and stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. This could be going on for months, if not years. But you posted this, and it was funny, right? Meghan opening your inheritance from the Queen, and she only gets, well, she's not the only one that wasn't in favor, Big B. And I remember being told a story of a consort or an insider, whatever you want to tell them that and I didn't take it seriously at the time, that Princess Diana had a royal carpenter or electrician, whatever they would be, with a diamond bit, drill a hole through the London Tower into the guards' barracks, and make a royal glory hole. And rumor has it that Diana is not the only one that experienced that, and it's quite possible that she didn't just use her mouth, she used other parts, and that's where Harry came from. But this little pig, she only married Harry to access the glory hole. That said, inside the barracks.
And as soon as the Queen died, Meghan Markle was the first to jump for joy.
Yeah.
Because all she's seeing is dollar signs, pound signs, whatever it is. That's all she's seeing. That she thinks she's gonna be queen for whatever reason.
Yeah, but her and Harry were kind of like trying to make a modern era of the royal family where they were part-time, and like William and Charlie, King Charlie. No way, you can't be part-time. And then like a year later, they completely rescinded their rights.
Right. And I don't know where that stands now. I saw like this, I don't know, one of you posted it, like the order of succession. And Harry's on it, like all the way at the bottom. Like, you got William, and then
William's firstborn son, and
right, and the kids, and then
that way.
Right, and William and his 3 kids, I guess 3 or 4, however many kids they have, and then after that comes Harry. So Harry's never going to become king.
No, remember the Queen herself, Queen Elizabeth. She was actually the niece of the king. But because the king divorced and married a outlander or peasant or whatever you want to call it, that's how the queen's father, who was the brother, got into power. And because he had no sons, that's how the queen got the crown.
Right, but that's not going to be the case here, obviously, because Charles is king. And then once he goes, it'll be William. And then once William goes, it'll be his kids. Harry will never, ever get the crown.
Not a chance.
And Meghan will never become queen, which I'm sure she is going to fight tooth and nail to somehow challenge the order of succession.
She's the queen of Pornhub.
All she wants.
She is worse than your vice president. She's seen more dicks in her woohoo than your vice president has.
And that's a lot. That's saying a lot, because our vice president's a fucking dumb whore. But all Meghan ever wanted, the whole reason why she went after Harry was because she thought one day she would be queen.
Right.
And
their stupidity pulled him away from the royal family. Said, let's go live in Vancouver originally, and then they settled in California. You cannot be a part-time royal. You are not Kate, who is now the Duchess.
Right.
She's no longer. It's the Duke and the Duchess. William is, and anyway, she's a fucking pig, and there is no way. But old Harry, he went and met a tramp just like his mother.
And see, and I don't know how Harry feels. You can't tell, because they put on a facade. All of them put on facades for public appearances, so you can't really tell. But I don't think Harry, in that family, although Charles did, it's really, you don't get divorced type thing. Right. I know obviously Charles did for Diana, and was a huge controversy.
Right.
For the most part, you don't get divorced. So Harry's stuck with Meghan Markle, for better or worse. And I'm sure she's worn on his last nerve, and he's sick of her, but he's stuck with her because he cannot get divorced. That's not what happens in that family.
He saw this Milana piece of cake, and like, oh, it's going to be a great time. And look what she's done to him. He's got no access to any of the money, any of the inheritance. He gave it up. He surrendered.
Right.
And then the other one I'm wondering about now is the other son, Philip, or the brother, or whatever he was.
Mm-hmm. Well,
the Epstein dude. Well, the only one that kept him out of London Tower was the Queen.
Well, but didn't Philip die last year or whatever?
No, not Philip. Who? Andrew. Who's the guy that was with Epstein?
Oh, I don't know.
Prince Andrew or whatever his name is. he's in hot water now too, because the Queen was a barrier on a lot of this shit. Like she was the barrier with Harry, and let's allow him to visit and shit like that. I'm not big on these funerals because they're really boring. Like when a president dies or Michael Jackson dies or whatever it is, Aretha Franklin. But I got to watch this just to watch Harry and Meghan, because Harry's going to walk with William, and William is the heir to the throne,
right?
And Harry's an absolute disgrace.
Harry and Meghan are the exact opposite of William and Kate. They William is royal, he acts royal and all of that, and Kate is just elegant and well-spoken and knows how to react in certain situations and knows how to handle herself, whereas Meghan is just a fucking she's a gold digger. She's an attention whore gold digger that wants fame and money. She wants fame and money. That's all she wants.
When it's like, hey, DK, have you ever raped? But by the way, I haven't. Go to Meghan. Have you ever been fucked by a stranger? Actually, Meghan, have you ever been fucked by 3 different strangers at the same night? You could bear twins from 2 different fathers because of the activity that you partake in, and you love the special guard glory hole.
I'm sure she has partaken more than 5 times.
Diana and her little sundresses. Diana was a great person. She did a lot of things for. Yeah, she did. She had that side of her. She had the angel on this shoulder. She was a fucking pig. She was fucking Dowdy the Arab out on his yacht. And everyone's like, oh, I can't believe Prince Charles is with Camilla. Yeah, well, you know what? Camilla stuck with him through thick and thin. Diana was bouncing from tree to tree in the jungle.
But she was free. She was divorced. She was content to stay with fucking old big-eared Charles, and he divorced her.
I think she was fucking around long before that. That's just my humble opinion. I have no inside information, but I think she's been made into this charlatan, and she's a pig, just like Meghan Markle.
Here's one thing to watch, though, as Charles takes his throne. Queen Elizabeth was a strong woman, a strong leader. You didn't fuck with Queen Elizabeth. She
was well loved too.
She was well loved, but you didn't fuck with her, though. You're right. She was strong. She didn't take no shit. Charles has always put forth a weak posture.
A powder puff is what you're calling him.
Yeah. Realistically, the kings and queens are figureheads now in England anyway. They don't do anything. But to be the face of the nation, he is weak. The image he puts forward is weakness.
It's the entire Commonwealth. Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Falkland Islands, wherever the fuck else they are.
It's going to be interesting to watch. Speeches, how he carries himself, how he presents himself to foreign dignitaries. Because again, nobody fucked with the Queen. I don't care what country you were from, what dignitary you were. You came to England, you bowed, and you did whatever. Nobody fucked with Queen Elizabeth.
People respected her.
Yeah,
and she commanded respect wherever she went. There was a story today too here in Canada, how Justin Trudeau and he was the 12th prime minister that had welcomed her into Canada and was impressed how fluent she was in French. I think there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff we didn't know about her. I think she was more brilliant than she got credit for. She always, we all knew her for this, right?
But yeah, I'm sure there will be stories now that she's gone. I'm sure people will feel free to speak out, and mostly good. I'm sure But there'll be stories about, how she did things and, how she got in and out of situations and all of that.
She
That'll
was
just,
basically a child when she was proclaimed queen.
right. And she carried that for what, 60 years, however long she was queen.
70 years or
70 years.
Like she lived through world wars, the coronavirus. Everybody died before her.
Right.
She was the one. I wonder, and this is a question, and a short size not here tonight, neither is Stu. But will Great Britain divide? Will Scotland and Ireland and Wales finally become sovereign like you have proclaimed for Stenchlandia and you're in Stench?
I doubt it. In all seriousness, I doubt it. They are ingrained in the United Kingdom. I don't think they're going to go anywhere.
How about further away? Your Canadas, your Australias, your
Well, that's what I asked you on the pre-show. Is Canada gonna stand up?
I don't know. I just know the Queen, like you said, had really no authority.
Right.
We have our own prime minister. We have our own government. They do the same in England as well. But she was still considered the head of state of Canada.
Right. And I think if any of those countries were going to do that, you would have heard rumblings a long time ago that, they're trying to, they're moving, they're making laws within the country. They're doing this. Nothing has ever come out that they've even thought about, becoming sovereign. So I don't with Charles going in, I don't think it makes a difference.
It's going to be so weird because through our entire lifetime and probably our parents, it was always Her Majesty and God Save the Queen.
Yep.
And at some point, we're going to now hear God Save the King, which was actually the original version back in 1954, whenever it was released for her father. I never knew that because I always only knew God Save the King. It's funny because we're learning more of the heritage and the history now that she's passed. So,
I wish the Sex Pistols were still alive so they can redo God Save the Queen and do it God Save the King.
Yeah. Well, maybe someone will do it.
That'd be fun.
Maybe someone will do it. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our royal family coverage. Now, Big V, I present to you a possible audible because, of course, when we were planning the show, we didn't expect the Queen herself to pass and have the implications. I think we should do Mike Jolitz and then go immediately to Florida.
Okay.
And we can save the other stories perhaps for next week.
Certainly.
Depending what comes up. I would like to do a little shameless plug before we go to Mike Jolitz. So you and I are both really excited about this. And I think we'll be simulcasting it on CapeCrewRadio.com. Oh, I don't know if you're a hockey fan or not, ladies and gentlemen, but Pucks and Pints is our new show. We did a 90-minute special 3 weeks ago. We're still working on our flow and stuff like that. But episode number 1, the actual 60-minute live show, which will be airing Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, will go live this Monday. Exciting and terrifying at the same time.
It's going to be fun. And we also have a fantasy draft.
In the fantasy draft, which I need to know if there's automatic picks, because Chris Apthorpe, who Bacon apparently has a job, but I don't know what it is up late at night.
Yeah, so I've done Yahoo drafts before. It's on Yahoo. I've done plenty of fantasy football. I've done fantasy hockey before. If you don't show up, there's a timer. So each person gets like 90 seconds to make their pick. If you don't show up at the end of 90 seconds, the computer will automatically pick for you. So it just extends the draft because whoever's there live has to sit and wait the full 90 seconds, but it will pick for you.
There you go.
You have to, let me just tell you, order your players, because if you don't, it's just going to make random picks for you, and you'll wind up with 5 goaltenders and no defensemen.
I'll have to investigate this.
I've done that in football where you wind up with 3 kickers, no quarterback, and 16 wide receivers. It's order your players.
All right. Noted. It is noted. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a big friend of the show and always gives us a little bit of a break. Mike Jolitz spends his time doing this for us each and every week. And you know what? He posted today. I don't even know why I post this shit anymore. You're big. You're big with us. We couldn't do the show without you. Ladies
Love Mike.
Mike Jolitz reads the news. We'll be back in a few minutes.
And now, Cave Crew Radio presents Mike Reads the News with Mike Jolitz.
Hello, Cave Crew Radio. Hello, DK, and hello, Sir Big B. How the hell are you guys? Happy fucking Friday, guys. We made it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It is now time for Mike Reads the News. YouTube idiot Jake Paul is going to fight former UFC fighter Anderson Silva right here in Arizona at the Gila River Casino, October the 29th. I hope Silva pummels the fuck out of that punk. I don't care, but one can wish. A guy out here in Arizona sold 2 tickets to the Keith Urban show that was held at the Footprint Center, home of your Phoenix Suns, yesterday. Yeah, he couldn't go because he lost his voice. Well, sir, you're not a fan. Either am I, but still. The Weeknd played just 3 songs at a sold-out concert in California last Sunday before abruptly walking off the stage. His last song was No Shit, Can't Feel My Face. I'm thinking he really couldn't feel his face, or he had to drop a deuce. The women's Canadian hockey team going back for the gold medal round in the IIHF Women's World Championships. They face off against the United States team on Sunday. USA, USA, USA. Next Monday, I have to go back into the office 5 days a week. No more Mondays and Fridays at home rocking out the music on the Apple Music app. It's been fun. I'm going to miss it for sure. Octopus Caveman went viral this week with a tweet that read, Kim has diarrhea a lot, like way more than a person should have it. Kanye even commented on it. He didn't defend Kim Kardashian's honor. He just pointed out he didn't tweet it. Justin Bieber canceled the remaining tour dates of his My Music is Shitty tour to take care of his health. Thank you. Take all the time you want, please. We're okay with that. There's less than 2 months till the NASCAR championship here in Phoenix for the season. I'm getting excited. I haven't watched a single race all year and no idea who even has a chance to win it. A man broke into a Prescott tattoo shop and proceeded to tear the damn place apart. He caused over $100,000 in damages. He's laughing in his mugshot, too. I heard he tattooed his junk and his taint. Not sure about that, though. The idiot who keeps suing Nirvana and others over his picture being on the Nevermind cover just lost yet another lawsuit. It was dismissed. Dude, you're a loser. Be mad at your parents, schmuck. The Queen of England died yesterday. The UK now is a king again. She seemed nice, but sorry, I don't care about royalty. America. Larry Fitzgerald has officially retired from the Sharpnels. He's going to be on the Monday Night Football pregame show. Wow. Well, good for him. I didn't know that was even a thing, though. And finally, in the news, there's a new hockey podcast out. It's called Pucks and Pints. It has Coach K, Sir Big B, and Chris on it. It goes live in 3 days, everybody. Check it out every Monday, wherever you get your podcast from. Alrighty, guys, what does it with the news? It is now time for tidbits. They're not headlines. They're just little tiny pieces of Shit.
Yeah.
Ben Stiller and Sean Penn got lifetime bans from entering Russia. Not sure who cares, but there you are.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday to country rebel David Allen Coe. He turned 83 on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Ramsey's back from Facebook jail. He seems salty. I hope he didn't get fisted.
Yeah.
It was 119 degrees in Napa, California on Tuesday. It was only 106 in Phoenix.
Yeah.
And finally, in the tidbits, congrats to Choo Choo Stew on his win in the Believe It or What against Sir Big B.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let us for this. Mike reads the news. Hope you guys have a great show. And yeah. All right, choose ciao and auf Wiedersehen, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Hot topics, weird news, shock talk radio, cavecrewradio.com.
Of course, the great Mike Jolitz. Maybe he is your berserker.
He could be.
Could
With
be.
his military experience, I would welcome Mike Jolitz to be the berserker.
I did not know. Now, here's a fact, ladies. I did not know Mike Jolitz served for your country.
He certainly did.
I myself was in the Queen's Navy here in Canada for a very brief time, but I did not know Mike Jolitz was well, all hail Mike Jolitz. I think he should become the berserker.
Well, if Mike Jolitz, let me say this now, if Mike Jolitz wants to become the berserker for Stenchlandia, the position is his.
All right, we will pass that on. We'll pass that on. All right, here we are, moving along, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize. We didn't get to everything that we wanted to tonight, but there's, as we say in show business, there's always next week, and we had bigger and better things we had to get to. So we are going to jump, ladies and gentlemen, immediately into Florida.
Everyone from Florida.
Oh God, I did it again, Big B. I'm still getting used to it.
Everyone from Florida is your big.
Cave Crew Radio presents Florida in the news.
Indeed, we have Florida in the news, and I have so much going on here. I have to find the right one. Here we go. Big B, a very strange story from Florida.
Oh, look at her.
Great.
First story of the night comes from WKRN.com. Headline reads, deputies release video of Florida woman doing the Irish folk dance during a sobriety test.
What's that? What's that famous Irish band that goes on tour?
U2?
No, I mean the ones that do the dance, the Lords.
The river dance?
Yeah, river dance. So she was doing her own version of the river dance here.
Well, just so you know, U2 is a famous Irish band that goes on tour.
Well, I realize that, but I thought you'd stick to the story. I'm getting late. I'm starting to fade.
A sheriff's office in Florida has released footage of a woman who performed multiple ballet and Irish folk dance moves during a roadside field sobriety test in late April. Multiple ballet moves. Deputies with the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office said the suspect, identified as a 38-year-old woman from Madeira Beach, had rear-ended another vehicle roughly 1 mile from her home on April 27th. When deputies arrived, they said the driver showed several signs of impairment, including bloodshot, glassy eyes, and dilated pupils. When asked to walk the line, the woman struggled to follow the instructions and was unsteady on her feet, almost falling.
Almost.
In the newly released video, the deputy administering a field sobriety test can be heard giving the suspect instructions. At one point, the woman responds, "Yeah, well, you sound like my ballet coach."
Oh, a ballet coach.
Hold while I write things down.
And I do have questions, by the way.
While I'm writing things down, please.
Well, no, I don't mean to interrupt the story, but I'm wondering, number one, is she trending on TikTok?
You know what? I'm sure this is on TikTok somewhere, and somebody's done like a video remix of it.
And is she literally wearing her tap shoes?
I don't know. You can't tell in that picture. Looks like she's wearing like the little ankle high boots.
Just see her like I don't know what songs you do, like wasn't that a party or the Missing Unicorn, whatever that Irish song was.
You know, that's two more Irish songs than I know.
I don't know. There was green alligators and long neck geese and humpback camels and some chimpanzees and cats and rats and alligators. And sure as I'm born, you ain't gonna see no unicorn.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
I am.
You have a crooner. It's Crooner DK.
I am of Irish descent.
There you go.
I don't think it was U2 that she was dancing to as much as you would like to make us think that.
Well, U2 or Thin Lizzy, pick one.
Anyway, carry on with the story. I don't think Thin Lizzy and U2 are the ones that were sitting around the potato famine writing songs of ear and, whiskey in the jar and shit like that.
Where do you think Whiskey in the Jar came from?
Not U2.
Thin Lizzy.
That is not true. But anyway.
No, I know it's a cover. I know it's a cover. The woman then took 5 steps along the line before transitioning into a ballet sequence.
This is when we miss our show, Live PD.
That's right.
Could you imagine if they had like a version now, Live PD Europe, which I don't understand why we can't bring the show back.
Actually, the show is back.
Oh, it is.
The show it's called On Patrol Live, and it's on the Reels channel, REELZ. I don't have it, so I can't watch it.
Me either.
That wasn't the exercise that I was demonstrating, the deputy says. Without responding, the woman then leaps into what appears to be an attempt at a folk dancing mixed with ballet.
Oh, I can imagine it in my head right now.
The sheriff's office said the 38-year-old woman later refused testing, which marked the second time she refused to test after a separate incident in Pinellas County on March 3rd, 2019. She is a serial drunk driver.
A repeat offender.
Deputies also said they found a white foam cup containing a light yellow liquid that smelled of alcohol in the center cup holder of the woman's car.
Was that her urine? And just like, I imagine urine sometimes will, as you're well aware of, as the king, will have stench.
I don't know if it would have stench of alcohol though.
Oh, I've never smelled anyone who's been at a party. I've been at a lot of parties and I've seen a lot of people pee in a lot of strange places, but I've never held a foam cup and scented it. So,
but have you raped?
No.
She was charged with driving under the influence with property damage and refusal to submit to testing. That's it.
It had to be the best night that those guys had, though. Like, it's got to be a lot of boring pullovers and traffic stops and arrests, and
right.
It must have made their night.
I'm sure. And look at it. If you look at the picture of her, she's a pretty woman. She's doing a ballet folk dance thing. She's drunk. She's having fun. It's got to be one of the relaxing, I guess, arrests for the police officers. They don't have to worry about a gun being pulled.
I don't know how pretty she is. I'm assuming she's wearing Spanx.
I don't know. Look at the picture in the lower right hand corner.
But she's probably got like those underwear that tie up all your all your stretch marks and shit. But I do have a question. So I've noticed this over the weeks and the years and whatever of all the stories we cover. You quite often say she identified as. Is this just like the woke way of doing the news, or like what do you mean she identified as?
No, not she
Or
identified. The
is it?
police. The police are identifying. So it's the line was, deputies with the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office said the suspect identified as a 38-year-old woman from Madera Beach, meaning that the police identified the woman as a 38-year-old person from Madera Beach.
All right, so I took that the wrong way.
Right? No, it's not the woke. I identify as a shrub fucking thing.
I thought you were saying like I identified as Mrs. Jones. Fantastic.
No.
Carry on. Oh my God. Let me find this lovely woman.
There you go.
And I'm not going to say anything. Yeah, the story will tell.
The next story comes from villagesnews.com. Headline reads, Wildwood woman enters plea but remains jailed after found masturbating at park.
Now, how is masturbating a felony? You're not really hurting anyone else but yourself.
Public indecency. Not a felony, but it's public indecency.
Well, she remained in jail, it says.
Well, let's get to the story.
All right.
A Wildwood woman pleaded not guilty last week to a charge she was in possession of cocaine. There you go.
Now we're getting down to the nitty gritty.
When she was found masturbating in a car at Martin Luther King Jr. Park in Wildwood. I'm sure it's a very peaceful park because everything, Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and all that, never has any shootings or anything anywhere.
Nowhere. Was she fingering herself or using an object?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll wait.
Jessica Devon Seward, 39, of Wildwood, remains held without bond at the Sumter County Detention Center following her arrest on July 27th by Wildwood police. She's being held without bond due to a probation violation from a prior arrest. Seward was in a silver Nissan Altima when an officer observed her as she was masturbating.
I want to be a cop in Florida.
Seward told the officer she was touching herself, minding her own business. There was a car with 3 teenagers parked nearby, but the officer determined they had not witnessed Seward masturbating.
And I'm sure they have her on
TikTok.
Yes.
A plastic bag was found in the center console of Seward's vehicle. The bag contained a white, powdery substance determined to be cocaine.
It was not talcum powder.
Earlier this year, Seward was arrested after an alleged attack on a man friend.
She has men friends.
She has a man friend that she attacked. That's it. That's the story.
Well, what about the man friend? We want more.
Again, we've discussed this many times. These stories don't go into other details of other things that we need answers for.
This woman is the real life version of remember Sanford and Son?
Of
course. He told that bitch she looks like a gorilla cookie.
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
No, not Elizabeth. Shit, I don't remember her name.
The aunt, the sister.
Yeah. I don't remember her name, but Elizabeth was his wife that he was always going to see.
Oh yeah, I'm coming, Elizabeth.
I'm coming, Elizabeth. This is it. We always have the heart attack.
God bless Freddie Prinze Sr. All right, hang on.
Who shot himself, by the way.
Yeah, that's terrible. And wasn't it his son that was the Crow, or no?
No, that was Brandon Lee. That was
Brandon Lee, right?
Yeah, who got shot during the scene when they didn't have stunt guns.
Right, kind of
They
like
made a mistake. They made a mistake with the gun, and he got shot.
All right, hang on. All right, here we go. This is kind of weird.
This next story comes from the Tampa Free Press. Headline reads, Florida man arrested after renting U-Haul and just keeping it.
It's mine now.
I'm keeping it.
Possession is 9/10 of the law, Big B.
Well, I have a question. Before I even read this, I have a question. If you rent the vehicle and you continue to pay for it, you can keep it forever, can't you? It's only $19 a day.
I have not read the terms of service of U-Haul, but you may be onto a new leasing idea.
There you go. A 19-year-old Florida man has been arrested after renting a U-Haul truck and, well, just keeping it. According to investigators, a deputy responded to the U-Haul rental store on South Pine Avenue in Marion County in reference to a U-Haul truck that had not been returned. Later in the deputy's shift, he spotted the U-Haul and a traffic stop was conducted. Contact was made with the 19-year-old driver, LaDorian Mobley, who stated he was supposed to return the rental a month ago.
It took 30 days before we did a wellness check on the U-Haul pickup.
Mobley was placed under arrest and taken to the Marion County Jail. The 19-year-old posted a $2,000 bond and was released pending a court hearing.
So I'm with you on this one. You need a credit card, at least over here,
yeah.
to reserve any sort of a rental vehicle. So said 19-year-old Desmalian, whatever you call them, presented the credit card. Yeah. And I am in total agreement with you over the reason of this is that as long as he's continuing to pay the $19.99, and I'm sure you got to pay fuel or mileage on top, but the tab keeps running. Who's to say there's a time limit before you put a missing person report on a U-Haul pickup?
Right, as long as it's, continues to be like when you rent a car. I had this a couple of years ago when I went to Kentucky. I rented a car and my flight got switched to later, so I dropped the car off later. I originally told them I was going to drop the car off at like 8 a.m., whatever the time was. I wound up dropping the car off at like 6 p.m. So what they did was charge me for an extra day.
Which is fair, right? Like I'm going to Nashville in a couple of weeks, which by the way, I'm available next week, but not the week after.
Okay.
I'll be in Nashville, but yeah, no, I get it. You rent the car. I think it's unlimited mileage is the one I have.
Mm-hmm.
But if I get it full, I got to return it full.
Right.
And obviously no damage and yada, yada. But yeah, like, hello, I'd like to keep the car another day. But if I didn't return it, unless this guy hit the max on his credit card, right? Like maybe he had to pay as you go or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, again, they don't go into that detail here in the story. That's the only way possible you could justify arresting him, because he has the credit card on file. So you just charge any extra days. It's in the contract where the extra you will be charged, a full day for any overtime above and beyond the agreed turn-in time.
Right. So like if I'm the U-Haul manager, right, and you're running a business and you're probably judged on the productivity of how many U-Hauls you have coming in and out, I'd be looking going, sweet. Like this guy's on a bender.
Right. And as long as the credit card goes through, it's fine.
Right. And then there's like, if you know U-Haul, you can return a U-Haul at any place. So for instance, if I rented a U-Haul here in Canada and I was driving up to New York because I wanted to bring a bunch of boxes or whatever, I could turn the U-Haul into another U-Haul dealer. So I wonder how this all kind of blew up.
I don't know. Again, there's a mystery behind it. Now, he says he was supposed to turn it in a month ago. Did they try to charge the card and it didn't go through? Did they just realize, oh shit, we never got that truck back? There's a bunch of detail that we need answered, and it's not in
or was he like, from this woke generation? Oh, cool, man. I just paid $19.99 or whatever the price is. I'm going to bring this F-150 home and impress all the chicks.
And hang out with the homeboys.
Yeah.
Maybe. Look at my cool new U-Haul ride.
Yeah.
They put rims on it and all that. Did he lift it? Did he put a lift kit on it? Yeah. Put rims on it?
I haven't got it detailed yet, guys. I literally purchased this from U-Haul, and I'm going to get a paint job really soon.
Yeah, because we don't like that white and orange stuff.
Yeah. I like the hang on, can we? Like, I kind of like the orange shit going down the side, but the $19.99 and all that shit's got to go.
Right. Well, yeah, all the advertising on it, it's kind of, you got to paint over that. If you're going to steal a U-Haul, at least repaint it.
Yeah. Steal the what do they steal? The catalytic converter.
Oh my God. On Hondas, the only model they do it here is on Hondas, but it's fucking everywhere. Steal catalytic converters. It's to the point where you got to put cages on them so they don't get stolen. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy. And they go to all that work. That's what kills me.
And nobody hears this. Even though it's the middle of the night, nobody hears this.
No. It's got to make some noise, some clanking. I mean,
you think?
Well, you got to go through the exhaust system and into the manifold of the engine. All that for a catalytic converter.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of the most famous fast food pizza places in the United States, Little Caesars.
I don't think we have here in New York, at least not in the city. I've never seen a Little Caesars.
They actually originated in Michigan, believe it or not.
Okay.
But anyway, what do we got here?
This comes from the Miami Herald. Headline reads, "He was wearing just an apron, and then came the chaos at a Little Caesars in Florida."
So after all the people witnessed him wearing just an apron, came the chaos.
Chaos ensued.
Chaos ensued. Excuse me.
Pizza, pizza, which is the Little Caesars catchphrase. A lengthy, colorfully written Facebook post from the Escambia County Sheriff's Office on Thursday begins with the advertising slogan for Little Caesars. An early morning incident last Saturday at a franchise in Pensacola has a lot of layers. Toppings.
But
well,
I can do that for you. Hang on.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know where it is. Hang on, man.
Hold while we wait for the sound effect.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to find the proper sound effect. That's all I got. I don't even know. There you go.
The law enforcement
do on short notice.
The law enforcement agency says that a suspect on a felonious mission.
Felonious.
Hold while I write things down.
The words we're using tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You say that we are challenged as we drink, but we still use these amazing words. You all sit there with your thesauruses.
The agency says that a suspect on a felonious mission was arrested after allegedly burglarizing the fast food joint dressed only in boxer shorts, tube socks, and an employee apron.
This is very worthy of TikTok.
The apron wearer, identified as Chad Korn.
Oh, that's too long. Anyway.
Chad Korn, ladies and gentlemen, reportedly went to the empty store on Navy Boulevard, found the door unsecured, and went inside. The burglar then decided he had the skills necessary to pull off a daring mid-morning heist, according to the sheriff's office. After grabbing 2 bottles of water, a brownie, and the apron, the pizza fashionista made his way to the exit through the door, which was now locked from the inside.
Oh, dear.
This is where the poorly planned escapade begins to unravel. The door failed to lock for the employees, but now worked to perfection. He has locked himself inside. Korn then plotted his escape. He finds through the darkness of Pizza's past a dimly lit opportunity. He wonders if he can get past the suspended ceiling tiles, he can access the roof and regain his freedom. The Milton man then reportedly climbed on top of an oven to pry off the tiles above, but fell down in the process. That's when the store's alarm went off. Only then, as he's
not until he climbed on the stove.
Right. Did the alarms go off?
He was free as a bird until that point.
Correct.
Great alarm system, Little Caesars.
Soon after, the phone rang and Korn answered the call.
Good evening, Little Caesars. How can I take your order?
It's unclear who was on the other line, but likely the alarm company checking to see if everything was okay, which it wasn't.
But Korn said, all is good.
We're good. We're really good here at Little Caesars.
Yeah. I'm just cleaning the vent on top of the oven.
That's right. And I fell.
Yeah.
That's right. A picture on social media shows the place in complete disarray, with ceiling tiles on the floor, along with dust and debris next to a pizza display.
Korn is freaking out.
At this point, he's been in the store long enough to qualify for Employee of the Month, and he's dressed for it, cracks the release. The suspect finally crawls through the drive-through window into the parking lot where deputies were waiting. Korn was placed under arrest and charged with burglary exceeding $1,000 in damages, petite theft, and impersonating a Little Caesars employee.
Oh,
Not really.
what is the time you would do for that?
It says not really. That was the post. They were joking about that one. Korn was booked into the Escambia County Jail on $30,000 bond and given a court date of September 16th.
I think Florida needs to build more jails.
I would say the opposite. I think Florida needs to build less jails and have a game show to see who gets in and who gets out.
Kind of like Running Man.
Almost like Running Man, yes. It would be wonderful. If Richard Dawson was still alive, he would be host. But I think Steve Harvey would do a great job.
I prefer King Charles.
He may be a little bit busy.
All right. I agree. All right. Time to name the show. I don't know where I fall in this. I always write down something from Mike Jolitz. Well, sir, you're not a fan.
There you
go. I also liked as a possible show note. We sent an emissary.
Oh, okay.
The apron wearer identifying as Chad Korn.
Chad Korn.
Love Chad. And back to him. Korn then plotted his escape.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that.
Really like Chad Korn. I wrote down Berserker. It doesn't really fit as a show name. My show name nominee is Chaos Ensued.
Chaos Ensued. Very nice.
My show nominee. All right, Big B, you've got to have at least 6.
I do not. I actually only have 3.
Oh, that's very rare for you.
I didn't write down a lot.
You're recovering from the generic Tylenol.
I'm on antibiotics and I'm drinking. So,
what do you got for us?
First one is a show note. You sound like my ballet coach.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
This next one, I just like the way you had said it. This was kind of like an afterthought when asking if you have raped. You said, by the way, I haven't.
All right.
And my show name can only be A Felonious Mission.
I have no idea how to spell that.
FELONIOUS. A Felonious Mission.
And I, like you, did not take a lot down, so we will work everything out into the show notes. But I like that. CCR Double 2, A Felonious Mission.
There you go.
Fantastic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen people popping in and out throughout the night. You might not have a lot. You're probably listening to this on download or watching the YouTube. We appreciate you. Those of you who like hockey, we'll see you Monday. Those of you who are into us, we'll see you next week. Great show, Big B.
Good times as always. And thank you to Jimmy's Sports Lounge.
Yes, which apparently we're on the big screen there, but
hi everybody at Jimmy's Sports Lounge.
Sometimes they put us on during the week. So as long as they're watching, I don't care. We'll continue to wear their gear. But anyway, folks, that's it for now. As usual, I'm about to pee my pants. And I need a bite to eat, and Big B needs to sleep so he recovers. He's got a busy week next week. 2 shows. Next week. You have 2 shows. Anyway, folks, enjoy your evening. We'll talk to you soon.
Later.
I want you to pack up and get out.
Get the hell out of here!
Go. Just go. Get out. Get the hell out!
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Search Cave Crew Radio.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.